Thank you so much. And what a great conversation and discussion. So my first job, I'm doing the close and the ask just for to be perfectly clear with everybody. But don't leave because Lauren will come back in a few minutes and ask you to participate in a survey. And it's really important for us. So we hope you stick through my little pitch here. But first of all, I do want to thank you all for joining us this evening in this conversation. This is an initiative that I have been, as Lauren said, committed to from the beginning when it was Benefits Hub. I've been trying to get them to introduce legal services for a long time, and thank God they've finally done it. Legal services is this kind of hidden need that young people or any people sometimes don't know that they could use, that really could make a big difference. For example, and this I use all the time, somebody who even is active with a social worker, a young person, for example, who's had a caseworker because he or she's been in foster care or in the juvenile justice system, and this is a fair number of the folks who are in the community college system, or hoping to be. They're without a place to live. They're at issue of being evicted, for example. The social worker looks at that as, I've got to find this person a place to live. But the lawyer looks at it, well, wait a minute, does your landlord have the right to evict you? So let's hold the phone here and see whether or not maybe we don't have to disrupt your life. So different services, different needs, but we've added that to our pool, and that I think is just wonderful. So thanks to all of you for coming. It is my pleasure, as I mentioned, or as Lauren mentioned, to be co-chairing the finance portion of the Bridge to Futures project, and with Mala Rahman, who is my co-chair. And many of our committee members are here today, and thank you so much for being here. And to the wonderful staff, Colleen, Chris, who's here for Marcia, Lindsay, and our beloved Lauren, who is, as Gordon says, a force of nature around this issue and many other things. And to Dr. Pan, thank you so much for being here. I've had the pleasure of working with Dr. Pan on young people who are involved in the justice system and how community college can really become a force to change their lives. You heard his statistics on that. It's just remarkable. Great work. And to Gary Locke, whom everybody is referring to as Governor Locke, and that is quite great. But I have always wanted to say this to you, and now with your new position at Bellevue College, I can. Thank you, Mr. President, for being this. Okay, so we're on 10 campuses now, plus, well, I guess that includes Renton Voc-Tech, which is really a great place for us to be, although they have started out virtual, and that's the way they're going to be, so they'll be kind of a test case. Almost 7,000 students, 18,000 interventions, and great evaluations, great outcomes so far that you've heard. So this stuff works. And we know, and let's be real here, I know many of you on this call, philanthropy this year has correctly, rightly, of course, prioritized COVID relief. But I'd submit to you that this is certainly in support of COVID relief, Bridge to Futures. I mean, it didn't start out this way, but it is critical. And as you can see, COVID has had a huge impact on the ability of young people and not so young people, but the community college demographic to persist, to continue in whatever they are attempting to get out of their community college experience, all of which impacts their future success. And so COVID has impacted it. COVID has accelerated the needs and made them a little different in some senses, and made our response different. So a lot of creativity has been engaged in without it. But in addition to being a much needed support to relieve the impacts of COVID, This is also an investment in a sustainable program, which will, in fact, as we have demonstrated and will continue to influence the future of young people and not so young people for whom community college in particular is a first, it's a lifeline, and it's a break in generational poverty. That sounds big, but that's exactly what you're seeing here. You heard the demographics on the population that we are serving. And if we're getting 10 and 12% increases, even in the first years of this operation, this program, you know, you can just do the math about what kinds of difference you can make for the families that they are a part of going forward. Most importantly for me, perhaps, because I'm kind of a geek about these things, this work is data-driven and it's research-based, but also it's compassion-oriented with students at the center. How good is that? And what better deal can you get for what you want to do with your dollars in this day and age? So thank you again for being here and participating in this conversation, for your dialogue, for your interest, for your curiosity, and for your compassion for this work. Thank you much.